All right, Maya, this is your final question. What will you choose?
I'll pick, what is the Wilson cycle?
The Wilson cycle is a concept that describes the opening and closing of tectonic plates and the ocean floor.
The Wilson cycle is described in 6 stages called tectonic settings. The Wilson cycle begins with one landmass and a magma body below it. The magma body is pushing the continent up and out through a process called convection cells. As the landmass is pushed, it creates a crack in the continent called a continental rift valley. This rift is not broken all the way through the uppermost mantle or crust of the Earth yet. This tectonic setting would be a continental rift valley. In our second step, the landmass separates into 2 pieces and a narrow seaway is created. A substance made out of rocks, called the oceanic lithosphere, begins to form just below it. The crust moves out of the way of the oceanic lithosphere. The rift valley is becoming larger as the convection cells push the land masses away from each other. This tectonic setting is called the narrow seaway. As time passes, the land masses separate even more. The narrow seaway becomes a wide sea as the magma pushes the land masses further apart. Lava starts to flow out onto the ocean floor. The lava cools and piles up over time to form an oceanic ridge. An oceanic ridge is an underwater volcano or mountain that is cut into 2 pieces. This step is called the oceanic ridge. These 3 steps complete the first half of the Wilson cycle, where 2 landmasses separate, creating a wide sea. It is called the divergent boundary. In step 4, the convection cells of the magma begin to reverse. Due to this, one of the landmasses begins to move towards the other one. The oceanic lithosphere slides under the other plate. This is called subduction. The rocks in the oceanic lithosphere begin to partially melt as the magma rises to the surface. The magma flows out at the surface as lava piles up on land to create a chain of volcanoes called a volcanic arc. This tectonic setting is called a subduction zone. The sea begins to become smaller and smaller as the land masses approach one another. It then becomes a narrow sea once again. The oceanic lithosphere continues to get pushed under one of the land masses, creating an even larger volcanic arc. This phase is also called a subduction zone. Eventually, the entire narrow seaway and the oceanic floor is consumed and disappears, bringing the 2 land masses together as magma is no longer flowing. Material from the volcanic arc and oceanic crust is forced up to form a giant mountain called an interior mountain belt. This final tectonic setting is called an interior mountain belt. These last steps complete the Wilson cycle. When 2 land masses are fused together, it is called a convergent boundary.
This cycle takes over 100 million years to complete. The study of the Wilson cycle can show us the world's history and what our beautiful Earth's future holds.